A very pleasant good morning and welcome to the third day of the 2020 Parkway IMX Invitational Meet. We are live at Parkway North High School here. My name is Matt Judkins, along with producer and camera operator Kevin Girth. We are going to bring you the sights and sounds of this meet here this morning and throughout the rest of the day. Officials doing one final check on all of the equipment and the touch pads. Swimmers are getting ready, queued up on the far side there in your screen as they'll get ready to compete here in our first event of the morning. It will be the 100-yard IM. 4 heats of this first event, and if you've had the opportunity to watch this meet over the course of the last couple of days, you'll know that after each event, we'll have a short break. We'll come back with the next event. This gives the swimmers time to recover between each of those events. Some swimmers are swimming 2, 3, 4 events in a row, and so we want to make sure that they have the utmost opportunity to be ready to go right off the bat. So swimmers are lining up now, and I know we'll have a few scratches throughout the morning. I think they're going to combine heats 1 and 2, it looks like, right off the bat. And that will happen. They're going to combine heats 1 and 2. No, maybe not. We saw this yesterday with a couple of swimmers dropping out. Looks like we'll be 1 lane short, so maybe they will not combine. I want to pass along a nice word to all of the officials who have helped us out this weekend, working all the sessions thus far for the most part. Of course, Brett Shank and Mike Vavaza. Brett also serves on the board. Carolyn Lipsky and Steve Hubner and Ron Graham. They have been the officials throughout the weekend, giving up a lot of their time to come out here and make sure this meet runs smoothly. Of course, a lot of parents on the docket as well, but Ruth Price has been coordinating all the volunteers. Great work by her to make sure everyone has had their positions filled so that this meet can go off smoothly. Katie Schaefer and Julia Hulsman as well, working the scoreboard, and all those folks. So we want to thank them for making this happen. And of course, these great sights and sounds could not be possible without my partner on this one, Kevin Girth. And Kevin, special shout out. We've received compliment after compliment about the quality of this production, so we want to thank him for that. Of course, he did the same a couple of weeks ago for the first part of this IMX meet. May never get a chance to go to a swim meet without his equipment ever again, so we'll see how that goes over the course of the next couple of years as his kids continue to grow in the program. The timers are now in place. Looks like everything is just about set to go. Looks like we'll stay with heats number 1 and 2 separate. So it looked like they might combine. We had that type of setup yesterday. A lot of times in these first heats, not enough swimmers to fill the pool, sometimes in the second heat as well. So here we go now, 100-yard IM. This will be the first heat. There'll be just 2 swimmers in this one, Annalise Dunbar and Addie Fisher. Annalise 10 years old and Fisher 11 years old. We want to remind everybody now, go ahead and send me a text, 314-369-3289. Let me know who your son or your daughter is, or your grandson or granddaughter, however you're related to the swimmer. Maybe it's a friend. Send me a nice little bit of information about them, maybe where they go to school, things they like to do, etc., and we'll mention that right here on the air. We've been fortunate. We've had, roughly about 25 to 30 different folks text us over the course of the last few days, as well as some sending in an IM directly there on the YouTube channel, as we are off and running now with the 100-yard IM. This is 1 length of the pool for each of the 4 strokes, starting with butterfly, into backstroke, then to breaststroke, and then finally coming back home with the freestyle. Good swim thus far for Addie Fisher now. She goes into the breaststroke halfway down the pool. When she touches on the far wall, the right side of your screen, she'll go into the freestyle and bring it home. Neither of these 2 swimmers have a previously established time, so they are looking to get their first ever time on the board. Fisher touches and she'll bring it home freestyle-wise. Let me give you that number one more time, 314-369-3289. That's my phone number. You can text me, and I'll mention your child or the swimmer right here on the air. Good swim there for Fisher. She'll come in at 124.29. Nice establishment for her first time out. Coming to the wall now, equally as quick, 1:32.04 for Dunbar. So both of those young ladies will finish their first event. They'll hop out of the pool, and now we'll go to the second event. This will be heat number 2, once again, of this 100-yard IM. One length of the pool for each of the 4 strokes. We'll have 5 folks in this event. Campbell McCool starts, should be at the top of your screen. The lanes are numbered 1 through 6. Top of the screen is 1, 6 is the bottom of your screen. Anna Judkins in lane 2, Ella Wuchik in lane 3, Savannah Aman in lane 4, and Trey Cottle in lane 5. Butterfly right off the bat. Swimmers in this group range from 10 to 12. Cottle just 10. McCool and Judkins 11 years old, and Wuchik and Aman also at 12 years old. Everybody touches the wall now as they come back the other way. Into the backstroke they go. These first 2 strokes, known more as kind of the power strokes, they tend to go hand in hand. If you see a swimmer who's typically good at butterfly, they can be very good also at the backstroke. And then we go into the very technically heavy stroke, the breaststroke. They'll touch the wall now. First one in on that one in lane number 3 is Wuchik. She'll come out of the breaststroke, followed quickly behind by Aman and Judkins. Now they go down the other end of the pool. You want to stay close to the water, pop in and out, push with the back legs. 4 swimmers now, all even. You see McCool very good at this breaststroke now as she's closed the gap. May, by the time she hits the wall, touch first. All these swimmers trying to beat their previous best times, trying to go under 1:30. First 4 touch the wall, with Cottle still making his way, the 10-year-old, down the other way. Fellow swimmers cheering them on. Again, trying to go under 1:30. Looks like Wuchik's going to be close first to the wall. We got a race here, and she is. Wuchik out touches Aman by just a little bit less than 0.2 of a second, but all 4 of them under 1:30. They all drop time, and that's exactly what these swimmers want to do. They want to get their best time on record. 6-second drop for Wuchik, as almost a 7-second drop for Aman. Judkins a 2-second drop in her IM. As Cottle comes to the wall, he touches now 1:52.98, and a nice drop as well of about 7 seconds for McCool in lane number 1. So great swim for those youngsters. They'll hop out of the pool now, and we'll go into heat number 3. Heat number 3, we'll have all 6 lanes filled up this time around. Nick Lang at the top of your screen in lane 1, followed by Natalie Gronberg. Gracie McLeod in lane 3, Victoria Anderson, Anaya Sethi in lane 5, and Libby Price in lane 6. And they're off. Got a couple of texts coming in really quick as we go through the first stroke here. We've listed those swimmers out for you. First one, a very special note. Campbell McCool, who just swam in lane number 1. She said, hey, let's wish Grandma Belle a happy 70th birthday. So Grandma Belle, if you're out there watching, thanks for tuning in today. Happy birthday to you, 70 years young. And I'm catching up to you very quickly. Next week I will pick another one off of the old calendar. Coming down to the wall here at the halfway mark, it'll be Libby Price touching first. 38.41 for her into the backstroke. She'll go into the breaststroke. Sometimes you ask the swimmer what are their favorite strokes. Well, from Libby, she'll say, my least favorite is my breaststroke. Of course, she is also a big soccer player, competes for the Lee Fuse program, and she now makes her way down the pool. Middle of the pool seems to be pushing out ahead a little bit in this breaststroke. But all 6 of these competitors within touching distance. They're going to touch the wall, and they'll come back the other way. Leading the way is McLeod and Anderson thus far. Victoria wants to say hi to her mom and dad, Jack and Sonia. She's a 6th grader at Jaeger Middle School. She'll touch first there in lane number 4. Fast time for her, 1:22.44. She'll save 40 seconds off of her previous time. All of them coming in, though. Nice times for them. We'll go through those in a minute. They're going to let them come on in. Now they're trying to get her. We had a light touch from McLeod there in lane number 3, so they're trying to get her to touch the pad so it resets. Good drops, though, all the way around. Every swimmer in that event dropped time, so congratulations to them. Biggest drops, 5 seconds apiece for Anderson and Sethi in lanes 4 and 5. They'll hop out of the water now. We'll go to heat number 4. Charlie Schaefer in lane number 1, Rachel Bolin in lane number 2, David Nyer in lane number 3, Elliot Sapp in 4, Harry Pendleton rounded out by Cole Strom. Cole Strom, he's a 4th grader at Edgar Road. Swims with Coach Gavin at Kirkwood in the blue group, loves to play soccer, loves to fly, so let's see how he does coming right out of the chute. He's got good form, and he's down here in lane number 6. Lane number 3, though, really taking it out fast. David Nyer, he's the 12-year-old. He's in senior 1. Young David loves to hunt and play the trumpet. And his favorite stroke is the one he's seeing right now as he front runs all the way back down to the wall. He loves this backstroke. He goes to Howell middle. He'll touch the wall into the breaststroke. Everybody else right behind him. You see Harry Pendleton there. Lane number 5 wants to give a shout out to his mom and dad. Katie and Theo, he goes to Southwest Middle. He also swims with Coach Gavin in the blue group at Kirkwood. Nyer touches the wall. He's going to be first one coming back the other way in the freestyle. He stretches it out a little bit. Young David trying to beat a time of 1:13. He should be just ahead of that as he comes to the wall, well ahead of everybody else, and he does break it, 1:11.22. Good job for that young man. Next one to the wall, lane number 1 is Schaefer, 1:17.15. A nice drop from him, down from 1:26. Third in the heat, lane number 4, Elliot Sapp, 1:19.37. That's about a half a second faster for him. 1:20.98 for Strom, a drop of almost 7 seconds, followed by Pendleton, who drops 3 seconds at 1:23.10 and rounded out, at 1:22.50, lane number 2 for Rachel Bolin. She drops over a second. So all those swimmers dropping time as well. If you were with us yesterday and you joined us, you might have heard head coach John David talk about what the coaches are looking for in this swim meet. The biggest thing they're looking for is technique from the swimmers, and are they dropping time over their previous times? Well, most of these swimmers have not swam in 6 months or more in an actual official meet and competed that way. So we see them right there do just that. Well, folks, we're going to take a break here. We're going to allow the swimmers to warm down. And I will also, before we do, we'll give you the phone number one more time to text in, 314-369-3289. Send me a text. We'll mention something about your swimmer right here on the air, maybe a fun little tidbit about them, and we'll work those in throughout our broadcast. But we're going to take a break. When we come back on the other side of this one, we'll have event number 2. That'll be the very fast 50-yard freestyle. Until then, so long. Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX swim meet. We are in day number 3 here, session number 1 on Sunday morning, getting ready to swim event number 2 of the session, event number 32 overall. This will be the 50 freestyle. This one will go fast, as you would expect. This is the true sprint of all swimming. We will have 4 heats in this one. As the swimmers prep to get lined up on the far side. Very systematic the way that swim marshal Blair Porter has plotted things out this weekend to make sure that the swimmers can stay safe and healthy, be socially distanced. Everything they do down on the pool deck is walk counterclockwise. They come out of the bleacher section. For those of you who have been to Parkway North High School, they go to their right around the far side, line up for their event, and then go behind the block. So that is the protocol that they have to follow here throughout the weekend, and it has gone off without a hitch. First 3 swimmers here in heat number 1 will be Caleb Opal, Anna Judkins, and Annalise Dunbar. Of course, Opal, I'm going to say hi to his parents, John and Hensel. He's in 5th grade at Piermont Elementary. He swims with Coach Kean in the blue group at Parkway Central. Loves the fly. Interesting little tidbit about this young man. Well, he taught himself how to play the ukulele this summer. My daughter Anna, who's swimming right next to him, also plays the ukulele, guitar, and piano. Of course, she'll compete in a number of sports as well. Right after this, she goes to her field hockey match for Sunday, and then yesterday and the day before, 2 volleyball matches. So these 3 get set to go. They dive in. 50-yard freestyle. Down and back for each of these swimmers. Caleb and Annalise yet to have an established time here for Parkway. Both of those two, 10 years old. Anna, just an 11-year-old. She's trying to beat 36-33. She's in good shape now. She touches at 15, but that's right behind Caleb, who really starts to open it up now. A little bit of speed for this young man now. A couple of body lengths ahead, and he's showing his quality as he'll come to the line right around 30. He'll touch at 30.84. Anna J right in there, also touching at 34.43. And Annalise, she'll touch at 37.39. So a nice drop for Judkins there. And a very good established time for both Caleb and Annalise as they go 30.84 and 37.39. Both very good for those 10-year-olds. We'll start looking at time standards as we come across the rest of the day. I'll explain what those mean and what those are in just a few moments. We get set for heat number 2. Looks like we've got a couple of scratches here in this one. Trey Cottle will be in lane number 1. George Baisley was scheduled to be in lane 2. He will scratch today. He came in and swam on Friday evening instead. Libby Price sitting this one out. Mason Mollering in lane 4. Claire Luna in lane 5. And Nick Lang in lane 6. And we're going to say hello to Claire's dad, who sent us a text. You can all send us a text, 314-369-3289. So we know he's at home listening. Thank you to him. You can also IM right there on the screen. I want to remind you now, those time standards are posted both on this video cast as well as on the Parkway website. First one to the wall here in lane number 5 is Claire Luna. A very fast time for her of 31.89. She drops nearly 3 seconds, followed closely by Nick Lang at 34.21. And then Mason Mollering also coming in at 34.54, right on his previous time. Trey Cottle comes in at 46.16. Congratulations to all those youngsters as they make their way through these heats. Now we'll go to heat number 3. We will have a full slate in this one, all-female event. Victoria Anderson in lane number 1, Sophia Schmidt in lane number 2, Rachel Bolin in 3, Ella Wuchek in lane 4, Natalie Gronberg in lane 5, and Ananya Sethi in lane 6. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But Mom and Dad, if you're out there listening and I've mispronounced it, please let me know. Coming back the other way. Quickly front running in lane number 2, Sophia Schmidt. She's a 12-year-old. She's trying to beat 32.98. She will shatter that one. She does at 29.50. Nice job for her. Coming in just behind her in lane number 6 is Sethi. She's at 31.65. Lane number 5, Gronberg at 32.05. Both drops for those two young ladies. Fourth in the heat at 32.08 was Anderson, followed by Wuchek in lane number 4 at 32.45, and Bolin at 32.74. Both of those young ladies right on their previous time. So congratulations in that event as well. Now we'll go to heat number 4. This will be the final heat of this one. Madeline Stoner in lane number 1 at the top of your screen. Arana Hewitt in lane number 2. David Nyer in lane number 3. Clark Montgomery in 4. Charlie Schaefer and Kennedy Johnson down here in lane number 6. Of course, Kennedy Johnson, she loves to compete in basketball. And she plays the violin. Of course, we want to say hi to her parents, Mike and Elaine, longtime twin parents, and they've watched their daughter compete. She was one of the youngsters that was lined up to come close to his zones cut last season and just missed it due to the COVID. Here's Nyer to the wall. He's in quickly at 28.24. He's going to drop a second in a very fast 50 free. Congratulations to him. 28.71 for Montgomery, coming in right behind David. Followed in third place in the heat, 29.03 from Schaefer. All three of those young men dropping time in the event, as well as Kennedy Johnson. She'll drop nearly 2 seconds down at 30.34. Stoner drops another couple of seconds in hers at 30.52, and Hewitt right on her time, 31.50 in that event. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side of this one, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about time standards, what those mean, what they are, where you can find them. Again, there is a link right here on this video web stream. There's a link to the time standards. Those were newly released on Friday, so you can download that information. You're going to be looking for the short course times. And Coach Chris posted those also on the Parkway website, so you can find them there as well. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Next event up, the 50 backstroke. Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX. My name is Matt Judkins. I'm here with my partner for the entire weekend, Kevin Girth. He's the one allowing you to get all the sights and sounds here, producing all the action and operating all the cameras. We get set here now for event number 3 on the morning. That is the 50-yard backstroke. We will have 3 heats in this event. Heat number 1, top to bottom of the screen. Lane number 1 at the top of the screen. Lane number 6 at the bottom of your screen. In lane number 1, it'll be Annalise Dunbar, Anna Judkins in lane number 2, Claire Luna in lane number 3, Libby Price in lane number 4, and lane number 5 we know will be vacant. George Baisley swam earlier this weekend, and so he is out of his events today. And of course, a couple of notes to pass along. One from Auntie Annie to Libby Price. She says, hey, make them eat your bubbles. For those of you who have been around swimming quite a long time, know that's a common saying. And she says, show them how to swim like a girl. So we'll continue to get more of those tidbits on the air here. Be sure to text me at 314-369-3289. The queue is filling up, so got a lot of people to give some shout outs to. Here's our first events again, lane 1, 2, and 3. It's Dunbar, Judkins, and Luna. Libby Price sitting this one out. Anna Judkins now quickly pulls out of the water, as well as Claire Luna. Both of them halfway to the pool, trying to beat their previous times. All 3 of these young ladies in the 39-second range, so they'll want to go under 39 seconds here in this event. They'll touch the wall right off the bat, right around 17, 18 seconds. Luna with a nice breakout underneath the water as she pulls and goes the other way. Quickly right behind them, Annalise Dunbar. All 3 swimmers within touching distance of each other. Again, trying to beat that 39-second mark. Looks like Luna's going to be first one to the wall. Claire Luna will touch in 37.84. Anna Judkins in 39.16. Both of them breaking their previous best. And in at 42.63 for Annalise Dunbar. So nice job for those 3 young ladies. All establishing their best times here in this event. Claire Luna achieving a B time. We jump in for the next event now. The next heat, it'll be Cole Strom, Elliott Sapp, Savannah Amon, Harry Pendleton, Trey Cottle, and Margaret Mendoza here in this event. We talked a moment ago about time standards, B times, BB times, A times, etc. Those time standards are set in place for qualifying meets. And we'll go down the list here. A lot of B times and BB times being hit already this morning, including one A time. In that previous heat, Claire Luna got the B time. First one to the wall here in lane number 3 is Savannah Amon, followed closely by Harry Pendleton in lane 4, but all swimmers within touching distance of each other now. We're going to have a race right down to the wall. They approach the final 5 yards inside the flags now. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Amon, first one to the wall, followed quickly by Pendleton. Third to the wall in lane number 2 will be Sapp, Strom, then Mendoza and Cottle. Congratulations to all of those youngsters. We'll try and keep those times as close as possible. Lane number 2. 2, 3, 3, 4, and 6, all very fast in that one. Won't be able to get all the time standards. We only have so many seconds that we can write things down, but nonetheless, we'll see what we can do. We go now into the final heat here of this 50 backstroke. It'll be Elliott Bland in lane number 1, Arana Hewitt in lane number 2, David Nyer in lane 3, Clark Montgomery in 4, Elam Fu in lane 5, very fast yesterday, and Sophia Schmidt in lane number 6. First one to the wall in lane 3 is Nyer. He's been a front runner here all morning so far. The 12-year-old now continues to stretch it out. This is his favorite stroke, as we mentioned earlier this morning, and right now he's cruising towards a best time, trying to beat young David 31.98. Won't quite do it here in this one as he comes in at 33.07, quickly followed by 34.50 from Sophia Schmidt, 34.64 from Montgomery, 36.89 from Fu. That was just behind the 36.16 of Hewitt and Elliott Bland, 37.14. Some good drops there for a number of the swimmers in that heat. So once again, as we do at the end of each of these events, we are going to take a break. Again, we'll total them back up. We'll come back a few minutes early. I'll go through some of the listings of all those time standard qualifications And be sure to text us now. Send us a note, 314-369-3289. I've got a number in the queue that I want to make sure I give shout outs to here in just a few moments, but don't hesitate. Send me your name, the swimmer that you're texting about, maybe a nice little tidbit about that swimmer as well. Once again, 314-369-3289. Or you can also send us a quick little internal message right through this YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX swim meet. We are getting set for event number 4. This will be the 50-yard breaststroke. Again, as you've noticed here this morning, these 50s go very fast, so the events take just a matter of a few minutes and then they are passed. I want to give some more time standards qualifications so far, going all the way back to the 100-yard IM. A couple of B times, Annalise Dunbar, Charlie Schaefer, and Rachel Bolin all achieving B times. Nick Lang, Libby Price, David Neuer, and Elliott Sapp with BB times. We got our first A time of the day, Caleb Opel, that is in the 50 freestyle. Several B times achieved here in this one as well. Annalise Dunbar, Mason Mollering, Claire Luna. Mason already had a BB time, so he was a little off. Victoria Anderson and Rachel Bolin also getting B times along with Natalie Gronberg and Anaya Sethi and Arana Hewitt. BB times across the board though. Nick Lang, Sophia Schmidt, Madeline Stoner, David Neuer, Clark Montgomery, Charlie Schaefer, and Kennedy Johnson. And then in that 50 backstroke, another A time for the day. It was Harry Pendleton achieving that A time. A couple of B times as well. Claire Luna, Savannah Aman, Elliott Bland, and Arana Hewitt. Then BB times across the board for a few. Montgomery, Nair. Nair already had an A time. Schmidt, Elliott Sapp, and Trey Cottle along with Cole Strom. All those swimmers getting their BB times. What those BB times often do is qualify you for events down the line, including the short course championships, which typically take place in late February, early March. But there are more qualifying meets to come. All right, we're going to go to event number 4. This will be the 50 breaststroke. In this event, we will have 5 swimmers in heat number 1. It'll be Opal, Gronberg, Cottle, McCool, and Judkins here in this first one. On the breakout out of the water, the first one is McCool. She's a little bit ahead of Gronberg. Those two slightly ahead of the rest of the pack. Everybody within touching distances now. They come towards the wall. Caleb Oppel in lane number 1, the only one without an established time. All the other ones looking to go under 47 or under 50 here with their previous best times. Good pullouts for everyone. Again, continuing to lead are McCool and Gronberg. Followed closely by Oppel, then Cottle and Judkins in lane number 5. It's like the first two are going to beat their previous time. They're trying to go under 47. McCool will be first one to the wall at 43.75. 45.07, 45.80 for Opal, 61 for Trey Cottle, and 51.99 for Anna Judkins. So nice drops there across the board for most. Right on the times where Cottle and Judkins. Heat number 2, we will have Fu. Lane 2 will be vacated. Baisley not here. Strom, Sapp, Montgomery, and Mollering. We'll give a couple more shouts out. Rachel's parents and family say, hey, we are here in Chicago listening, so they want to say hello to her. We'll say shout out to a longtime swim parent and friend, Scott Schaefer, and has enjoyed it throughout the weekends. Of course, his 2 kids swim in the upper level groups, both championship swimmers. They've been zone swimmers before, and good family parents. Let's also say hi to their other buddies. Coming the other way now, pulling out quickly. Seems like he's got a little bit of a lead here in lane number 5, Montgomery. So Clark Montgomery, first one high up out of the water, real close to him. Lane number 3, Cole Strom. Everybody's been touching distance. Lane number 1 is Fu, Sapp, and then Mollering. Swimmers here trying to go under 44, 45, and 46. Age ranges, Strom just 9 years old, Mollering 10, 11 years old for Montgomery. Sapp also 10 years old, and Fu 12. Right now, lane number 3, it's Cole Strom, the young 9-year-old, and boy, he is really pushing the envelope on this one. Cole Strom, once again, this is a very fast time for that young man at 43.38, so nice drop for him. 44.06 for Fu, a nice drop for her. 42.55, another drop for Sapp. 43.97, a nice drop, and Mollering 48.49, just a little off of his time. So good racing all the way around. Again, we'll get to some of these texts here in just a moment. We'll do that at the next break. Got our first international listeners back in the UK, also in Kansas City. Some people in St. Louis would say that's foreign as well, but I have too many friends there to say that on that side of the state. But nonetheless, Maddie Stoner's grandparents are watching, so we want to say hello to them. Now here comes a very fast heat. It'll be Anderson, McLeod, Bland, Newer, Johnson, and Lang. That is top to bottom of your screen, and you see, of course, David Nyer in lane 4. He takes the quick lead, and he is right on top of the water. Very fast pace as he's going to touch the wall at just about 18 seconds going the other way. He's trying to break 41 seconds. He's well ahead of that pace. All these swimmers trying to go under 40 or 41 for the event. Nyer continues to be the first one leading the way. Bland right in behind him, followed by McLeod, Kennedy Johnson as well, and she's pulling up quickly. She's now within touching distance. They're going to all close very quickly. It'll be 41 for 39 again for Nyer, nearly a 2-second drop for him. And rounding it out, all of these youngsters having the opportunity to drop time in this one. Few of them right on their times as well. Little drop there for Gracie McLeod. Kennedy Johnson with a drop as well, almost a half a second for her in this event. So that'll wind things up here. We're going to give a couple shout outs as well here as we go through some of the text messages that we have received here this afternoon. Claire Luna's family saying hello to her, and her brother Levi is cheering her on. We want to say hello to him. Addie Fisher Shout outs to her grandparents, Wayne and Carol. They're watching this morning. We want to say hello to them. Of course, they're enjoying all these sights and sounds, and those are being brought to you by Kevin Girth. We want to say thank you to him. He's given up his entire weekend to bring you this production, and it's just not about showing up at the event for him. He's got to be here well in advance to set up, and here late into the night to clean up, pick up all of his equipment as well. Shout out to our friends, the Johnsons. Of course, Mike is here timing. Elaine is watching, maybe out in the car, maybe at home. We don't know. You can watch anywhere. You can be mobile and watch it right here on the YouTube channel. Harry Pendleton, he's a 7th grader at Southwest Middle. He loves doing flips on the trampoline, lacrosse, and mountain biking. Sounds like he's got a little bit of an active streak in him, as my own son does, and he swims in the blue group with Coach Gavin. And we hope to have Coach Gavin and Coach Kean on at some point today. If you get an opportunity, go back to yesterday's sessions. We had some good interviews with head coach John David Williford, as well as with the age group select coach Chris Etherington. They talked about the program, their groups, a lot of good information for parents. And then on Friday evening, we had Dr. Brian DeBosch on with us talking a little bit about the upcoming potential fundraiser for the Parkway program and or capital campaign to perhaps build an additional pool. So be sure to check all of those out as well. I think we've just about caught up. If I didn't catch up on your shout out, hit me with another text and I will be sure to name it. We're going to take another quick break here. When we come back on the other side of this one, it'll be the 50-yard butterfly. There'll be 3 heats in that one for lane number 5. We hope you've enjoyed it thus far. Back in just a few minutes. We are in heat number 2 now, here of this 50-yard butterfly. Hewitt, Bolin, Bland, Mendoza, Price, and McLeod. Top to bottom of your screen. First one to touch the wall there. Lane number 3 is Elliott Bland. He will front run and bring it home. Followed closely behind lane number 4, Mendoza, then Bolin in lane number 2, lane number 1, Hewitt. Down here at the bottom of the screen, Price and McLeod. Good times all the way around from these youngsters. Again, we'll get you more of those time standards here as we go along in just a few moments, but nice race that time. I want to say hello to Maddie Slayer's aunt and uncle. They are watching from Londonderry, Vermont, so hello to them. Another one from quite a far ways away. We've seen the UK and all kinds of different times. Third heat now. Kennedy Johnson will be in lane 1, top of your screen, followed by Cole Strom, David Newer, Ella Wuchik, Madeline Stoner, and Charlie Schaefer. All of them pushing their way through. It's David first to the wall again. He's been that way throughout his events today. He has really done quite nicely, dropping time in nearly every event, getting a number of BB times. And right now in this fly, he looks very strong. Head up, head down for 2. Proper stroke, but right down here in lane number 6 is Schaefer. Schaefer, he'll pull it out at the end, and Schaefer comes in at 32:25. He'll drop 5 seconds off of his best time, quickly followed by Newer, who also has a nice drop down to 32:71. 35:76 for Kennedy Johnson, a drop of well over a half a second. Cole Strom also with a nice drop at 35:76, tied with Johnson. That is correct. That is a tie. 35:62 for Wuchik and Madeline Stoner, who we just mentioned on her uncle. 35:36. Well, again, we'll add up those time standards in just a moment. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have some more of that commentary in just a moment. Welcome back to the 2020 Parkway IMX Swim Meet. We are live here at Parkway North High School. My name is Matt Judkins, along with producer, camera operator Kevin Girth. He's responsible for bringing you all of these sights and towns. We can't thank him enough for the weekend. We get set for the final event here of the morning. It is the 100-yard freestyle. It's event number 6 for the session, event number 36 on your scorecard there. I want to bring you some time standard qualifications there from previous events. Back in the 50-yard breaststroke, B times for Trey Cottle, Gracie McLeod, and Elliott Bland, as well as Kennedy Johnson, and Victoria Anderson. BB times for Nick Lang, David Newer, Elliott Sapp, and Cole Strom, along with Caleb Opel. Also back here in this 50 butterfly, BB times for Wuchik and Stoner, as well as Kennedy Johnson, BB times for Schaefer, Newer, Strom, Mendoza, and Price. Now here we go with the 100-yard freestyle. This will be 4 lengths of the pool, down and back, 2 full laps in this first heat. It'll be Dunbar in lane 1, Judkins in lane 2, Lang in lane 3, McCool in lane 4, Fisher in lane 5, and Opel in lane 6. First one to the wall there in lane number 3 was Lang, followed closely behind by Fisher in lane 5. She's busted out and taking the lead. Now Caleb Opel, he'll be first one. He's in that American flag cap down here in lane number 6. He'll be the first to touch the wall. Actually, he's second, slightly behind. 5/100ths of a second right behind Fisher. All these swimmers competing now. They'll go down, they'll touch the wall, and they'll come back for a very quick sprint back to home base. We'll go the other way now. Here they come. This is going to be neck and neck right down to the wire. It's going to be Fisher and Opel, Swisher and Opel. Fisher and Opel here as they approach the flag into the final heat. It looks like it's going to be Opel. He's going to be the first one to touch the wall. No time established for either of these two. 1:12.11 for him. 1:12.77 for Addie Fisher. Congratulations for those two on great times. Following things out here at the end, Judkins and Dunbar in the middle, McCool and Campbell. So nice job all the way around for those youngsters. Good drop for Lang of almost 4 seconds. And almost 6 seconds for Campbell McCool. Second heat now. Gronborg, Strom, Sapp, Amon, Selfie, and Cottle. We'll touch the wall here after the first 25. First one to the wall in lane number 3 there was Elliott Sapp, Natalie Gronborg, and in lane number 1 right behind him, followed by lane number 5, Seppi. Then in lane 4, Amon, lane 2, Strom, and Trey Cottle down here at the bottom of your screen. Continuing to touch first in that. Well, actually, Seppi was the one to touch the wall first at 35-13 on the split. She'll go the other way, try and come back. Neck and neck now, touching almost at the identical time. We're Sapp and Seppi. You see them there in the middle of your screen. They are neck and neck as they approach the flag into the final 5 yards. It's Sethi, it's Strom, it's Sethi, it's Strom, and she'll touch the wall first. 1:12.52 for that young lady. Drop of almost 6 seconds. Nice drop as well for Sapp at 1:12.97. Good times all the way around for these youngsters as they continue to drop time. And as we mentioned earlier, you want to look for where were you at prior to the meet and coming into the meet, and then where were you at now. Every swimmer in that event all dropped from their previous best time from first through sixth place. Now we'll go into our last heat here, our last heat of the morning session. The 100-yard freestyle will be Wuchik, Price, Fu, Schmidt, Mollering, and Pendleton. That's top to bottom on your screen, lanes 1 through 6. Fast breakout for each of these swimmers. First one to the wall in lane number 4 will be Sophia Schmidt. She's trying to beat 1:13.52. Top preliminary time coming in this one was Elam Fu at 1:12.31. Right now, Schmidt front running about a body length ahead of everyone else. She'll touch the wall first in a very, very fast 30.8 seconds. She's followed by Fu, and right behind her, Libby Price. Lane number 6 is Pendleton, Mollering in 5, and then Luchik in lane 1. That's how they are pacing each other right now, but a very fast time being put on right now in this 100-yard freestyle. This is also a sprint race. Requires a little bit more strategy than a flat go hard the whole time. But nonetheless, here's a very fast time being turned in right now by Sophie Schmidt. She's going to shatter her previous time. She's going to be well under it, 1:04.29, 9 seconds off her previous time. Price to the wall now, as well as Fu. Fu coming in at 1:09.15. Price coming in at 1:12.26. Well done for those youngsters. Mollering also dropping time. Lane number 5, 1:13.54. 1:13.80 for Pendleton, all rounded out by Luchik at 1:19.17. Folks, that's how we end things up here. And this one looks like we're going to have a single swimmer here now in this one. Chance to do a time trial here. We'll get the name of this young lady in just a moment. She'll jump in on this 100-yard freestyle. We'll find out from the scores table as soon as we can who that young lady is. She's quickly down to the other side. Nice split for her. 14 seconds. She touches the wall. Tough sometimes to come out and compete by yourself. Have to swim a time trial like this. She'll come to the wall. She'll hit the wall right at 32.28. Good split for her. She'll touch the wall down at the other side. She's going to be right around 50 seconds, coming back to try and see if she can't go under 1:10 to 1:12. Top time this morning in this 100, Sophia Schmidt, 1:04. As she comes to the wall now. She'll do that in 1:08.69. A couple of BB times achieved in that one, including Schmidt. She got a BB time in her event, but nonetheless some very fast racing there in that morning session. Folks, we are going to log off for now. We're going to take a break. That'll end it for session number 1. We want to thank again Kevin Girth for bringing you these great sights and sounds. We also want to give a shout out to our officials from this morning: Brett Shank, Mike Favazza, David Niminen, Carolyn Lipsky, for bringing us this action. And of course, the volunteers who helped put this event on: Blair Porter, Katie Schaefer, Ruth Price. Without them, we could not make this happen. So nonetheless, great session this morning. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. Next session is set to start around 9:30, I believe. But nonetheless, you've got those notes from the coaches throughout the week. And we got one more shout out before we sign off. Aunt Mindy shouting out to Libby Price from South City. Way to go, Libby. So congratulations to those folks and to her aunt for logging on. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with session number 2 for the day in just a little while.